see how much damage he's able to do on multiple fronts, but it looks like MC is just taking full advantage of that strategy on IdrA's part and taking out his groups of units one at a time, as of course that is the downfall or the weakness of a multi-pronged attack, especially when you're trying to fight a Protoss player. As we take a look at the APM tab, yes, MC is chilling way up there at 261, while IdrA is at a very nice 173 himself. Looking at these units just losing their lives. Phoenix is strafing back and forth, lifting units at their leisure and taking out Overlords in the meantime. At any rate, that is the weakness when you're fighting Protoss with a multi-pronged attack, that they can dictate exactly what units get through and what units don't with those force fields that they are so loving to use. We have units lost have not very favorable for IdrA right now, as these roaches are trying to get a nice concave in, but of course Stalkers do extra damage to them, and the Colossi are just raining down beams of fire from the back. Those roaches are going to be coming back in for a second round, trying to do as much damage as possible. Two of them getting picked up by Phoenixes, and those will be left to die as their roach brethren say, "See you guys. Sorry about your bad luck, you drew the short straws, and you died." The roaches still trying to do some damage. These are very persistent roaches, as it does look like MC will be able to finally eviscerate that army, split it up into half. He did manage to take out about half of those roaches. So MC very nicely defending right there. You see he never really left this little area, this bubble of the field that he wanted to keep, as we have Phoenixes now flying in, because of course they are invulnerable to roaches. Hydra's coming in to now try to help, and those Phoenixes will take the hint and move away, as one unfortunately loses his life right there. So the one Phoenix was too slow and did get taken out, as we see a fourth base being taken by IdrA down here. So he is going to be taking another base to try to support his Zerg army, as he's losing units pretty rapidly, so he'll have to get more resources, as that Zergling wandered into the wrong place at the wrong time and was taken out by canyons. And now we have another engagement happening in the middle. These Zealots trying to tank the damage, while one Colossus is raining down fire from the back. He is having such a great time right now, and the Stalkers are attacking from right in the middle all the while. So those Roaches and Hydras will be forced to leave, as another group now is going to be joining the party. So IdrA might have the upper hand right now, but of course force fields are going to scare IdrA away. He knows in the back of his mind that if he tries to attack, then his army will probably get split in half. And this is the reason why IdrA really hates Protoss, is because he really wants to attack with his force, and he would have been ahead if it had been a full army against full army engagement right there. As you see, he's about 30 supply ahead. But, of course, when Protoss players use force fields correctly, it neutralizes the advantage that IdrA would have had, because it would have split his army in half and then taken out the half that was exposed, while the other half is just left to be sad pandas in the back. And now we see Colossi and one observer on Creep Sumer duty. So, of course, Colossi versus Creep Sumers, never a fair battle, as you should never bet your money on the Creep Sumers in that situation. This fourth hatchery is now underway for IdrA. He's getting it started to be populated, and he's going to be getting that underway, trying to get more resources back, because of course he has lost more resources than MC has thus far. It's about a 3,000 gap, so that's not great for IdrA right now, as this one Zergling does manage to actually get away from that Zealots. That was an interesting battle. Now we have the Protoss player coming into the middle, coming onto the creep and taking out an Overlord along with some more creep tumors. This observer is doing his job very nicely, spotting those tumors and allowing the army to take them out. And now the Protoss player, content with having taken out all of the creep tumors in this area, a very effective push right there, basically taking out creep tumors for free and just preventing IdrA from getting that creep spread out of hand. One thing I can say for IdrA so far this game, as we see MC getting ground weapons level 2 and Blink underway, one thing about IdrA is that up until right about now, he's been doing a nice job of containing the Protoss Deathball, you know, getting it under control, not letting it get out of hand. But just as I say that, as we see a bunch of units are warping in, this right here is exactly what Zerg players hate to see, as we have IdrA actually taking a 5th base down here. I'm not sure if that's the smartest move. He might want to focus instead on trying to repel this army that is going to be attacking in the near future. At any rate, excuse me, this is that Protoss Deathball, as these Zerglings came in at the very worst time and will get roasted away. Of course, when you have an even number of Zerglings and Colossi fighting, that just is not going to go well for the Zerg player, as MC is going to be taking a 4th base. Alright, at any rate, the Protoss Deathball now is exactly what any Zerg player hates to see, as so many Zerg players over the, years I suppose, have lost to this exact army right here. It looks so fearsome and it's so difficult to kill off as soon as you let the Protoss player get to this stage in the game. I'm not sure if there's anything that IdrA can do now, as MC has played this game by the book, getting his Protoss army built up one by one, slowly but methodically, all the while taking expansions exactly when he needed to, not overextending himself and not underextending himself, if that's a phrase. At any rate, he's been doing this exactly the way he needs to, as now this engagement happening in the middle. His Corruptor is not going to be enough to take out the Colossi, as we have the Zerg player trying to get a concave, but he was a little bit out of position, as most of these units were bottled up in that ramp right there. And now this engagement happening in the middle, Stalkers and Colossi just raining down a bunch of damage on this concave of Roaches and Hydras, and it will force IdrA to GG. Look at the screen, it's very pretty right now, as we just have Guardian Shields over here, Force Fields over here, Colossi destroying Roaches and Hydras, while Stalkers also firing their little lasers as well. This is a screen that you love to see as a Protoss player, but hate to see as a Zerg player, as these Roaches and Hydras are having the worst day imaginable. This Corruptor is also so dead in the next few seconds. At any rate, IdrA, of course, actually GG's in this game, so a little bit of respect being shown by him, as he unfortunately did get outplayed in this game right here. Basically, it came down to that attack in the middle, where IdrA tried to attack from over here with Hydras as well as Roaches over here, but MC was able to find those Roaches and understand the situation, and then make excellent use of force fields. He never left this area with his Protoss army, and that was amazing of him, as he was able to just dictate which units came through, and then he killed those, and then allowed the rest to come through, and then he killed those off, and then IdrA was trying to get some damage done with a Roach Ball, but MC fended that off very nicely as well. And then IdrA might have overextended himself with this 5th base down here, as it really never got a chance to pay off for itself. But even then, even if he hadn't gotten this hatchery, I don't think it would have been enough, as MC was so very good in today's game, and did manage to outplay IdrA here in game number 1. But of course, this is a best-of-3 series, so we will see if IdrA is able to bounce back in game number 2 and force a 3rd and deciding game, or if MC is able to sweep this series and continue the roll he's on against IdrA. It'll be fun to watch what happens there. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I will see you guys in game 2.